TISOVALITES, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Bbnaija, and to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for believing in me. Thank you for sticking around with me, okay guys? So guys, today has been very wonderful, very sweet, very calm, and I come bearing good news. Remember I uploaded a video yesterday where oh no, ignore that. Remember I uploaded a video yesterday where I talked about, the remaining 10 housemates diary session. If you haven't seen that video, kindly hit on the link here or search my video on my channel so you can see that video and get yourself updated, okay? So today basically has been more like, there's been a lot of getting together, a lot of, doing some tasks together, and then there's been a lot of, more like getting to know themselves, because remember that in one of my videos I mentioned that Biggie had said that, today was going to be the first wager for the Big Brother Naija lockdown housemates. And so it was a big deal, like a huge deal. It started off with them trying to get things to eat, take their shower and stuff like that. But I remember that one thing that really trended today was Biggie having to play Laycon's song in the Big Brother Naija house. So the housemates were seated together, and the next thing that happened was we started hearing, the vibes, the songs, and then Laycon was like, oh my god, that's my song. And then the housemates were so excited, they were hailing him, they were applauding him. At some point he started even to drop the bars, and then the song was more like he was asking the housemates to say their line was to say who is Laycon, and then he would render the lines and everything. It was really nice to watch that play out, because I mean the housemates are really working together. I see that there are a lot of togetherness amongst them, which is something that doesn't really happen like often in the Big Brother Naija house. So Laycon trended all over social media for that single moment that it happened. I mean, kudos to Biggie for surprising Laycon in such manner. Remember that during Laycon's diary session yesterday, he appealed to Biggie to just give him 1 minute or 30 seconds during his diary sessions to just be freestyling, to just sell himself, guys. And today Biggie just did something nice for him, and that was really cool to watch. The next thing that happened today in the house was the housemates started to talk about the countries that they have visited. Now Biggie, remember that the wager was more like a task that would test your knowledge of your fellow housemates. So if I am Valeen and then you're TISOVALITES, how well do I know TISOVALITES, and how well does TISOVALITE know me? So Biggie, had this understanding that most of the housemates have traveled a lot. And guys, I feel like all the housemates had some massive, travel experience besides just living in Nigeria. I am impressed with these housemates. I am impressed. And shockingly, there are people that you never even imagined that they had even left Delta State or Lagos State. You would never even imagine that they had left any state in Nigeria ever. I mean, like the state that they were born to, any other state. These persons, were trending on social media because people still find it hard to believe them. One of such persons is Kaisha. So Kaisha says she has been to, I'm gonna say where she's been to. Kaisha says she has been to Ghana, Germany, Dubai, and India. I think she mentioned one other country though, but I can't really remember now. So most of social media did not want to rest on her. They were dragging her all over the place. They dragged her in the mud, they dragged her in the sun, they dragged her on the floor. They were just dragging her all over the place. They were like, this person doesn't even look like someone that has even traveled outside of her state. Talk more of going to Germany, India. See, I just want to put this out there. You never know. Never judge a book by its cover. Most times people undermine or, underrate an individual because of, her looks or his looks. Looks are deceptive. You never know. Allow people to tell you their story. Allow people to be the ones to reveal who they really are. Because if you want to tell from afar, you would never discover who that person is. Remember, that was what happened with Laycon. When Laycon got into the house, people were just looking at him like, who is this one? Especially because it doesn't even look like an artist. It looks like, when you have those cousins that are like your younger brother, sister, that kind of, he had that look. And so people were looking down on him until they started seeing the intelligence, the smartness, the, intellectual and entertaining Laycon. So you can't really tell how vast someone is until you get close to that person. So that was the case of what happened today. So I'm going to share with you all the things that happened. And guys, you need to stick to the end of this video because, a lot of things happened today during the wager that you don't want to know. I mean, Ozo got Nengi in trouble, or should I say Nengi got herself in trouble. I don't know what is going on between the both of them. They should just put their head in the game and understand that you're here for 85 million naira. And so whatever you're doing, put your head in the game, sis. Put your head in the game, sis. So you need to stick around so that you get all the juiciness, all the gist and everything, because I got you covered, okay? So the next housemate that traveled really far, that also was sort of dragged somehow in a way, would be Bright. Bright has traveled to Turkey, Egypt, Ghana. I think he mentioned what's the name of that country? He's been to Europe because he's been to where they go. Yeah, that's Greece. I think that's where there's Mecca. That's Greece because he's been there. He mentioned there. He's been to a lot of places. That one, right too. And then Katrina has been to SA, Dubai, Zimbabwe. That one has traveled. I think she also has been to Maldives, where she said she spent 2.6 million naira in 2 nights, guys. In 2 nights. According to her, it's expensive. When she saw that most of these celebrities go there, she was like, I'm gonna be there myself. She wanted to take herself on a trip. And so when she went there, she stayed for like 2 nights in this hotel where she spent 2.6 million naira, guys. And so after the second night, she was like, a girl's got to move. A girl's got to move. And so she moved to a cheaper hotel. But long and short, Katrina seems really spoiled. Katrina is the one that is separated. She has a child, and her husband spoiled her silly. Okay, so the next housemate that has traveled really would be Erica. Erica has traveled a lot. I mean, guys, yes, Erica is the second housemate that was dragged, because you can't really in fact, when she was mentioning the places that she has been to, all of the housemates were like, he don't do Erica, he don't do Erica, he don't do, because the list was endless. Like, it just wouldn't stop. Erica has been to all the continents of the world, if I'm not mistaken. Like, Erica has been to Germany, Greece, Ukraine, London, Canada, Brazil, Turkey, Spain, America. Where else would someone want to go? Because if you've been to these places, tell me, where else do you want to go? So what happened was, if you even check our Instagram page, you discover that there are some countries that she didn't even mention. And that's the same thing with Kaisha. Kaisha has, locations tied to some of our pictures, and that's, pictures don't lie. So you can't really say that you've been, and you don't want to come to social media, international TV. Sorry guys. You don't want to come to international TV and then lie like that, because they're going to drag you, guys. They will drag you. So that's it. Yeah, so guys, who else has traveled to Laycon? Has only traveled to Cotonou. The list is very long. So guys, after that, Biggie, then it was now time, after they all talked about their, where they traveled to and things like that and all of that, the next thing they did was to, find food to eat, rest a bit, and then move, to the arena for the wager. And guys, I'm going to, at this point, read out the rules to you, the rules of the game. So what Biggie did was to, put them in groups. So he split them into male and female. So you have the male and then you have the female, and then the questions are asked. If you're a male, you get a question for a female, and if you're a female, you get a question for a male housemate. So you understand? So right now, if I stand up to pick a card, I'm going to be asked a question about a fellow male housemate and vice versa. So that was the case. And then, one of the rules says that if you pick one card, no, the rule says that you have to pick one card and ask only one question at a time and drop the card on the floor. Okay, so you have 2 minutes to answer the question, and you can only give one name. Now, Biggie had to separate the housemates, the females in one corner and then the males in another corner. So you cannot pick a card and then drop it. No, once you pick that card, you are going to respond to the question that's stated in that card. And if you fail, then, if you get it, you get a point. And if you don't, you don't get a point. And then to win the wager, now the wager is not like, it's not about your team winning. No, you're trying to win for the house. So if you win, if each of the teams are able to get 20 points, then the house has won. Okay, so that's what Biggie said. And if they don't, that they will also get penalized for it. Okay, and now each housemate had 2 questions. So if you're a female, you're going to be asked 2 questions that revolves around the male housemates. And if you're a male housemate, you're going to be asked 2 questions that revolves around a female housemate. Okay, so that's all that you need to know about the questions. But before that, Biggie scolded 2 persons today, like before the wager. Okay, so Biggie scolded Eric and Brighto. Is it Eric and Brighto or Neo and Brighto? I think it's Neo and Brighto, because because they had infringed on what Biggie had said concerning their microphone. So at all times you need to have your microphone on, and you need to ensure that it is on. I mean, it's a national show and people are watching, people are spending money to watch you, and so we don't want to take chances. We want to hear everything you say at every given point in time. And so that was the case of what happened. And so Biggie had told them that that they should he was going to deduct 50 Bbnaija from their money, and then he was also going to share that they should also share their high school experience to the housemates. So when they were sharing their high school experience, it was really funny because they were trying to just be funny and all about it. And so the next thing that Biggie asked them to do was to to apologize to the housemates. And after they did that, I think Biggie just forgave them and didn't actually take out the 50 points from their their wager, or from their whatever money that they already have aside now. So guys, that is it. So that is it. So Biggie said that if there is a tie, it will be discussed, and based on the overall performance, Biggie would decide who would be the winning team. Okay, and remember I said that they are playing for the house to win and not necessarily their team. Yes, there will be a winning team, but at the end of the day, it is the house that they should be more focused on to win, the game. And whoever wins, like whichever team wins the game, there will be a special treat for them next week. So guys, that's all that happened. I'm just going to go ahead and ask share some of the questions and answers that was asked during the Thursday wager. And guys, this was the part that really got me, because most of them really some of the housemates they forgot. In fact, Kaisha forgot the names of some of her housemates. Nengi, I already mentioned the Nengi and Ozo-ish. And then people of God, I don't want to be the one to say this, but somebody is saying that somebody is liking him. I really don't want to be the one that says it, but somebody's already saying, Neo is already saying that Erica is liking him, that Erica is always smiling at him and all of that. And hey guys, before we go to the wager, I almost forgot. Remember that yesterday in that video where I talked about how Lilo was, her session was boring in the diary room. Like, I just couldn't understand what she went there for. Okay, so apparently I think she got the memo after she had that diary session. So the moment she left that diary room, she told Nengi, that's the head of house, to call the housemates together. And so when the housemates came together, she was now, she apologized to them. She was like, I'm sorry if I've rubbed off wrongly on you guys, but this is why it is so. I like my space. I don't like people invading in my privacy. I don't like people just throwing themselves at me. This is who I am. I'm really sorry. In case I have rubbed off, negatively or somehow to you guys, I am sorry, but that's not the case. And then she also went for that to say that she has a serious, relationship outside of the house. And so when she said that, guys, Eric, wasn't really there. Like when she was seeing this and Eric wasn't there. So when she said, the housewife were like, what's going on? Because she was like, even if you see me, discussing with Eric, if we're close, whatever, we're, talking and stuff, and you need to talk to me or say anything to me, you can come and drag me away from there. That I'm with him doesn't mean you cannot reach out to me or something, but that she's in a serious relationship outside of the house. And so the guys were like, in my mind, this is super story, da 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 da, because this is a girl that has been giving Eric green light, has been from the very first day they got into the house, they've been cuddling, she has been laughing all like this, like somebody gave her some money and stuff like that. And so I'm like, what is now all this one? Now you're saying that you have a serious relationship outside, but you have been cuddling yourself up with this dude. I mean, if I'm a guy, I'll feel like, very bad somehow. But because the housemates were asking her, okay, if you had a relationship, how come you are this, almost like gumbody with this guy? And then she was like, no, that he understands that she is in a relationship. So, Eric, if you already know, then I got nothing to say. I really got nothing to say, because it's more like, a scenario where, yeah, like here in America, people they are in open relationships. Like you could be dating someone, and then both of you say that, oh, this is an open relationship, and then you can be dating someone else on the side, or more like when Prey said he has been in a three-way relationship, and both girls knew that they were dating him. I don't know, but I'm trying to understand that, okay, if she had already told Eric that she has a serious relationship outside of the house, then if Eric does want something for, more like a relationship, then he should be careful, or, I don't know, but if he knows already, then that's on him, not on her anymore. And so when she said that, they were now like, Eric, come and hear this story. Oh, Eric was like, he's coming, that he's in the bathroom or something, that he will come. But he never came until the whole discussion was over and everything. And so she just went somewhere and just, to just chill. And then Eric realized that she wasn't happy and stuff. So he went over to meet her, and then they started talking. And then she was like, she's angry that he wasn't there to hear her story and stuff like that. And then he apologized and stuff. And then they started talking about it again. So Eric was like, okay, what are you saying? What are you saying? And then she's like, kind of talk. And, but at the end of the day, I think the whole thing that happened, because I overheard her saying that, because he was like, okay, I can't remember what Eric said again, but she was like, what if I leave, how about me leaving my boyfriend for you? Can't it be that way? Because it seemed like maybe Eric was like, so there's no chance between us or something, it's not going to work or anything like that. So she was like, why are you thinking that way? Why not think that maybe I might end up leaving my man for you? So guys, this is another, like, draw me nearer to thee. Oh, draw me nearer to. That girl is drawing him nearer by the day. I mean, she's more like, I think she wants more of an ally in this guy. I'm thinking she's kind of using him. I don't see any, because if you have a man, yeah, then act like you have a man. Stop cuddling up with this guy. Let there be boundaries. I've not seen any boundaries between both of them. The only thing that's left to be done is for both of them to start, and stuff like that. And so if you're doing these things and you're still saying you have a man, and now you're telling him that, how about you thinking that I'll leave my man for you, then it means that she has plans to ditch the guy or something. So I don't know, but that's all that happened before the wager started. So now we're going to be reading out the questions, okay? So the first person that was called to the podium was Nengi, being that she's the head of house. And so Biggie asked her, she picked a card, and the question was, who said egusi is not worth it and should not be in the kitchen and must be banned? Which of the male housemates, guys? Remember that I said that if you're a female, you're going to be asked 2 questions for your male housemates. Either one. You never know who it's about, okay? And guys, I'm just going to ask, like a few of the questions so that, this video doesn't get more than, it's already too long, okay? So she now answered that it was Eric. No, she answered rightly that it was Brighto, okay? And that happened. So the next person that was called was Eric. Eric's question was more about, so they mentioned 3 names of one of the female housemates, siblings of one of the female housemates, and asked him who the housemate is, the siblings' names were Ekofo, Bola, and Yeye, and then he said that the answer was Dora. And guys, that was wrong because the person, the housemate was actually Tolani Badge. And so the next housemate that was called was Lucy. Lucy's question was, temptation is which housemate's favorite? So which of the housemates, the male housemates, has thinks temptation is his favorite or something? And then she answered rightly that it was Tochi. It was in her head because she didn't even take a minute to give out Tochi's name. The next person that was asked, housemate, was Praise, and his question was, which of the female housemates have visited India and Germany? And then he answered that it was Kaisha, and that's right, guys. Remember that I mentioned that Kaisha has been to like all of these countries, and people were dragging her on social media that she's lying and all that. The next housemate that was called to the podium was Dorothy. So Dorothy, her question was, who amongst the male housemates considers himself an expert in reading people's mind? And of course, Dorothy wasn't quite sure. She was just looking at the male housemates to try to try and figure out who it was, but she eventually answered rightly that it was Brighto. And just immediately she left, Brighto was called to the podium. And guys, Brighto's question was, Funke Akindele is the favorite celebrity of which of the housemates? Now I'm laughing because he answered rightly that it was Dora. I mean, Dora was just called, and the right answer was Brighto. And now Brighto was called, and the right answer was Dora, okay? So the next housemate that was called was V. And so V's question was, discernment and intuition are the unusual talent posed by which housemate? Now, it was really hard at first to get what, the question was, because V is a Londoner, so her accent is somehow. So she was even finding it hard to understand what discernment meant, and then intuition and stuff like that. But she eventually said it was Prince, which wasn't the right answer because it is Laycon. So the next person that was called was Tochi. Tochi's question was, which of the female housemates will buy Nigeria if money wasn't a problem? And he answered correctly that it was Erica. And so Erica was called to the podium, and her question was, the housemates, okay, his most embarrassing moment was when he traveled 16 hours and jumped Abuja University fence to meet his girlfriend. Which housemate, is this? At first, she was like, Neo, but no, that's not Neo. That Neo mentioned another university. So who could it be? Finally, she said it was Praise, and that was the wrong answer because actually it was Neo who, she was supposed to call. The next person that came on to the podium was Neo. Neo's question was, who amongst the females find bad oral hygiene and nose picking very irritating? And so he answered that it was Katrina, but the right answer was actually Nengi. So the next person was Watoni. Watoni's question was, which male housemate prefers their partner to be short and have ogon like me? Oh my goodness. And so she was like, it's Neo, but then again, that was the wrong answer because it was actually Praise and Eric, guys. The next person that was called was Prince. Prince said, question was, High School Musical is an all-time favorite of which of the female housemates? You should have just called my name because you see High School Musical. Oh, I live for that. I live for that movie. I live for that. Like, I love High School Musicals. I love them a lot. And so he answered that it was Kaisha, but that was the wrong answer because it was actually Lilo's favorite. The next person that was, it's as if when you call the right person is actually the next person to stand up. So the next person was Lilo. Lilo's question was, which male housemate was nicknamed MJ Jr. in his primary school? And then Lilo was like, it's Neo, guys, it's Neo. And that was it, guys. The next person that came onto the podium was Laycon. Laycon's question was, if she started a music band with her best, the silliest name to call it is Lekba Shandy. Who is she? And then Laycon was like, he wasn't quite sure, but Laycon is really smart and intelligent. He was just looking around. He said it himself that he guessed the answer, and then he chose Bbnaija. And yes, guys, that was Bbnaija. Next person that was called was Kaisha. Kaisha is the one that just got me like, what? I don't understand this girl really. She was just busy crying and feeling pity for herself because I don't know, and forgot to bond and even know the names of her fellow housemates. This is day 5. This is day 5 already. They were called into the house on a Sunday. This is day 5. So you can't tell me nothing. So they asked her, red lips and Americana were a nickname. Oh, it's hard, I'm tired. Red lips and Americana were nicknames of one of the male housemates. Now she was like, is that person on bandana? That person on bandana. At first she didn't know, but then when she recalled, she just couldn't get the name. And then she had to leave the podium and go close to him to check his microphone, like the band for his microphone, and then saw that it was Tricky T, and then she answered correctly. So the next person that was called to the podium was Ozo. Yeah, this is where Ozo's question was, which housemate can use both hands to write or to do something? Like, which of the housemates can use both the left and the right hands to work? So at this point, it was like Nengi was trying to tip Ozo. We all know that Nengi kind of likes Ozo and Ozo kind of likes Nengi, but it seems like Ozo likes Dorothy more, because I've seen clips where he was laying his head on Dorothy and then taking Dorothy's hands to touch his ejagba, his mustache and all. And so I don't know, but when Biggie discovered that Nengi was hinting Ozo, that was one of the rules that Biggie kicked against. So Biggie penalized Nengi. Nengi correctly answered our first question, and so they took that mark from her. All right, so that was what happened. I already told you that Neo thinks Erica likes him and stuff like that. Then some of the other questions were, they asked Ozo a second question. It was like, they were like, which female housemate was nicknamed finest in her primary school? Now most of the answers they gave today during the wager thing, most of them were just looking at face value. If you're fine, they'll think you're the cleanest. If you're fine, they'll think you're the richest and stuff like that. And so Ozo again answered that it was Nengi. So everybody Nengitized the whole wager today. It was Nengitanization day. Everybody was just Nengi, Team Nengi today. But the right answer was actually Erica. And so the Bbnaija was asked which housemates named their pet Rocky, and she answered rightly that it was Praise. Kid Wire was asked which housemate's crush is Two-Face and Chris Brown. He answered wrongly because he chose Erica, whereas it was Kaisha. Then Katrina was asked which male housemate can do 280 kilo deadlift or whatever it was called, and considers that as his unusual task. She answered correctly that it was Eric. Tricky T was asked which female housemate considers herself what class in grilling turkey. Guys, I can't remember the right answer to that right now, but I think the next person that was called was Neo, and his question was which female's favorite movie of all time is Game Plan, and then he answered wrongly by choosing Erica when the right answer was actually Lucy. Watoni was called to the podium and she was asked, who do you think amongst the housemates thinks atagazophobia is the fear of insects? And then she answered rightly that it was Uzo. Then Prince was asked, twerking is the unusual talent of which of the female housemates? And then he answered wrongly that it was Nengi, whereas the right answer was V. And then V stood up, and did a little twerk for us all. Then the next person went to the podium was Lilo. Her question was, which male housemate does not consider unripe plantain should be in the kitchen and that unripe plantain should be banned? I'm like, what's really going on? Someone said he didn't like egusi and egusi should be banned in the kitchen, and then the other one is now saying he did not like ripe plantain. Me, I can live on ripe plantain. Like, I can just eat ripe plantain from morning till night, and then you are saying you don't like it, it should be banned from the kitchen. I don't understand. I really don't understand. And guys, do you know who that person is? It's Tricky T, guys. It's Tricky T. And then Laycon was asked the second, for his second question was, Esther, Mary, and Joyce are siblings to which female housemates? And guys, he answered correctly again. He was like, it's V. Then Kaisha was called a second time. Guys, Kaisha, I don't know what's wrong with Kaisha. Kaisha cannot even remember the names of her fellow housemates. Remember, she couldn't even remember Tricky T. She had to go close to him to, check his microphone band to be able to recall Tricky T's name. And then this time it happened that her question was, the best present he ever got was a driver's license on his 18th birthday. Which of the, the male housemates, is this person? And then she was like, Uzo. Big brother is Uzo. It's Uzo. And they had to correct that it's not Uzo, but Ozo. And so, guys, that's how today's episode, I say episode. I don't know why I'm always saying episode. That's how today's, wager task ended. And, overall, the girls won the wager. Yeah, but the house didn't win the wager. And so the girls had 10 points while the male housemates had, 7 points. And that's it, guys. So tomorrow I'll be sure to upload another video, to discuss other things that's, currently ongoing in the house. So stay tuned to my channel. If you haven't already, kindly hit that subscribe button. Follow me on all my social media platforms. Give this video a thumbs up. Please help grow my channel. Until we see you again. Bye, guys.